All right, we're going to get started with the Unit 5, Section 3 video. In this section, we are going to talk about solving inequalities with variables on both sides. So again, this is similar to what we did with equations, but this is inequalities. So this up here should say inequalities. That was an oversight on my part, but I will work to get that fixed. All right, so in the first part, we're just going to tell whether the given number is a solution. And so we have that inequality there. So we're going to substitute -1 wherever I see an x. So 2 parentheses, 3 times -1 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 7 times -1 plus 4. 3 times -1 is -3. Plus 1 times 2 is greater than or equal to -7 plus 4. -3 plus 1 is -2 times 2 is greater than or equal to -3. This is -4 is greater than or equal to -3, and the answer is no, that is not true. All right, we're going to do the same thing with -2. So 2 times 3 times -2 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 7 times -2 plus 4. This would be 2 times -6 plus 1 greater than or equal to -14 plus 4. This is going to be 2 times -5 is greater than or equal to -10. -10 is greater than or equal to -10, so yes, this one is true. All right, I'm going to try number 3 for you, and then I'm going to leave number 4 for you to try. So it should be 2 times 3 times -10 plus 1 is greater than or equal to 7 times -10 plus 4. This is 2 times -30 plus 1 is greater than or equal to -70 plus 4. This is 2 times -29 is greater than or equal to -66. This is -58 is greater than or equal to -66, and the answer is yes. All right, like I said, I'm going to let you try number 4, but again, if you have any questions at all, be sure and ask a teacher. All right, so I'm going to jump down here and start solving multi-step inequalities. We solve them the same way we did with equations. We just have to be careful that we flip our inequality sign if necessary. So the first step is going to be to isolate our variable. We're going to subtract 15 from both sides. This leaves us -6x is greater than 42. I'm going to divide both sides by -6. Because I'm dividing by a negative, remember your sign has to flip. So x is less than -7. On number 2, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of that 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. This is going to be 18 is greater than x over -12. I now need to get rid of that -12, so I'm going to multiply it on both sides. Again, I'm multiplying by a negative, so I need to flip that sign. These cancel. So I'm left with -216 is less than x. Remember, always write it with the x or the variable first. So that is x is greater than -216. All right, moving right along. I need to distribute the -3 before I can do anything else. So this is going to be -6 plus 3x is less than or equal to 2x minus 9. When I subtract 2x from both sides, we have -6 is less than or -6 plus x, is less than or equal to -9. I then am going to add 6 to both sides. So I'm left with x is less than or equal to -3. All right, number 4, again, I want to get rid of that 3 before I do anything else. So I'm going to multiply each side by 3. So this is -x minus 11 is less than or equal to 21 times 3, which is 63. I then can add 11 to both sides. That would be -x is less than or equal to 74, which then if I divide by -1 to get x, I'm going to have to flip my sign. X is greater than or equal to -74. All right, moving right along to the back page. It says, for what value of x is the perimeter of the square greater than 50 units? And again, this should say rectangle. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. This is 4. This is 2x plus 7. So I needed to give you that. So we know we have 2 of each side. So we have 2 times 2x plus 7 plus 2 times 4. And that needs to be greater than our perimeter of 50. I then am now just going to solve an inequality. So I'm distributing my 2. This is 4x plus 14 plus 8 is greater than 50. Combine like terms. 4x plus 22 is greater than 50. Subtract 22 on both sides to get that x by itself. You're left with 4x is greater than 28. If you divide both sides by 4, you have x is greater than 7. So x needs to be greater than 7 in order for the perimeter to be greater than 50. All right, my friends, you have some review problems to try. The first set has to do with the distributive property and combining like terms. That's Unit 2, Sections 5 and 6. The next section has to do with solving equations with the distributive property. That's going to be Units 3 and 4. So again, go back and look at those other notes if you need to. And that, my friends, concludes the Unit 5, Section 3 video.